Welcome to the video then for this smartwatch. This is called the i9. Comes in pleasantly surprising packaging of decent quality actually, and I thought, wow, that's a good start. And it comes with the basic parameters of i9. Let's just bring that up. Focus the camera. Will it focus? Probably not. i9 and 240 by 240 on the screen display. Battery capacity 200 milliamp, which is pretty. It was a bit smaller than they advertised actually. It said about 280. Battery life 7 to 10 days. Supports multiple languages. Bluetooth version 4 and Android 4.4 and above. I wouldn't have thought many iOS Apple people will plump for this sort of thing, but it comes with a charger, which is the magnetic variety. And let's just pull that up. Bluetooth, not Bluetooth, what are we on about? USB with a 2-pin magnetic charger, only fits one way on the back of the watch, and it homes damn well actually. Magnetic, I mean look, the magnetic capabilities of that can't be sniffed at, and it finds its home really quickly and it charges up straight away. So, you know, full marks for that. It's about 1/2 meter long in length, that cable. When you open it up, the strap won't be fitted and you'll have some protective layers to remove. So these front one comes with one protective layer. Peel that off and it should peel off the inner protective layer over the screen. I've seen people doing reviews of this with the secondary protective layer still on. Probably ran it for months and months and didn't realise there was another layer on it. But anyway, I spotted it. You peel the first one off and it should help to peel this inner one off again. So that reveals quite a nice, reasonable screen. It's, I think, aluminium on the case. The pushers feel good, not too bad. And the sensor unit on the back also has protective cover, which you peel off, and the protrusion at the back isn't too bad. I mean, the profile is relatively good and it wears relatively well on my 17 centimeter wrist, although it's 40, getting on to 45, 46 millimeters in width. The bezel doesn't rotate, but it's just decorative, and the screen seems to come out to quite a length, but it's not bad in resolution. I think it's pretty okay. I mean, let's just show you that case and things. It's all right. The band itself, strap is nice and supple. Plenty of variations for fitting any wrist with good adjustable nature, and quick release pins on the strap. In the watch world, quick release pins is a plus point. You just flick that out and out pops the strap. Nice and easy for changing straps. Full marks on the strap. I think the strap's probably nearly a tenner's worth on its own. The display can be changed. You just hold that in and then you can flick through your displays and you can personalize one, which is the one with the world on it, and you can upload a picture, and I just briefly uploaded a picture of a Seiko and it actually looks pretty okay. I mean, the image is relatively well displayed. So if you're forever mucking about with buttons because of the timeout, and you can adjust the timeout up to 10 seconds. Let's put it on the one I prefer. That's hideous, and that's like a Galaxy type of display. Once you've hooked it up with your Bluetooth, it works well, and you've got to look for the i9th in the Bluetooth app, and you've got to look for the i9 on the wearfit 2 app. So there's 2 Bluetooth connections, and you cannot connect the Bluetooth, you cannot connect the phone to the watch without wearing the wearfit 2 app. So you load the wearfit 2 app, which there's a QR code for on the side, I think, somewhere along the line, or in the instructions on the back. That launches your wearfit 2. It's typical Chinese type app, which doesn't really make sense in various ways, but does allow you to change things. And we are talking a budget watch here. I mean, you know, to be produced, shipped and retailed in this country for sub 30 quid is not bad at all. And it's fun to play with and it works. I mean, it simply does operate. It's got Bluetooth microphone, and speaker. There's the speaker on the side there, just in there, if you can see that. 2 little grills for the speaker, and then the microphone's on this side, and it's loud. And I shall demonstrate with my phone a second. Let's just press play.
Even if there was snow on the mountain.
I did not know that, and I'm even gladder I didn't do that rubbish gag, but I'm glad it raised a smile from you, because God knows you need it. Thank you.
Even got a notification coming in to tell you. Cancel that.
A little later in the programme, but I'm going to cross live to...
That's as loud as it goes. And then you can control the music.
Ian Birrell, whose journalism is appearing pretty much everywhere, actually. I read
pause.
Back on again. I thought, God, these are good. And by the same bloke,
this is just a live broadcast of LBC.
So we'll be talking to him about this.
So yeah, that works fine. And then the Bluetooth calling works well as well. Let's go back. So back, and just one flick there. Then you go to there. Then to keyboard. You can turn this off as well. I'll just not show you my father's phone number. Anyway, that works. So actually, you got yourself a hands-free Bluetooth phone here on your wrist, which works, and it's Bluetooth 4, and it's got a reasonable range on it. So I think that's pretty impressive. And then things like the heart monitor, the blood pressure monitor, the oxygen level monitor are all basically within about 20%, I would have thought, of a Fitbit or a Samsung. And I mean, I've got a Fitbit and a Samsung, and they both have about 10% difference in variations, but none of them are medical grade. Once you wear one for a while, you get yourself a situation where you know where you are, and then by not swapping devices, you get it's calibrated, if you know what I mean. So if your resting heart rate is 64 and then it suddenly jumps to 70, you know that there's something adrift if you're using the same manufacturers or same watch all the time. So if you chop and change between one, you're going to get different variations. So the thing to do is wear and stick to one, and then generally you know how you're doing. So even if the step counter is out, if you do 10,000 steps one day and 11,000 steps the next day, you know you've made progress in terms of the amount of steps you've made. So you just stick with the same item. Now it depends what your budgets are, but I mean, smartwatches can go up to many hundreds of pounds, and then they can come down to this sort of level. And you know, if you're pretty hard on your watches, this could be just the job. And if you're jumping in your car, you've got this connected to your Bluetooth all the time, you can make calls and accept calls, see messages coming in without having to glance at your phone. And there are new regulations on driving, so you know you've got to be a bit careful. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. The screen interface is okay, and once you get the hang of it, I think it works quite well. So there's lots of different sports ones. Find my phone, so you can. No, it says Bluetooth not supported there. I don't quite know why. Have I turned it off? That Bluetooth not supported is your enemy when you first connect this thing up. Let's just make sure on my phone a second. It says it's connected. Oh, I know why. The wearfit app isn't on this. Me connection management. Connect band. So I've just connected the band up. So there's, as I say, there's 2 Bluetooth options on this. So that's how you find your phone. It's got weather input, and it sets the clock up when you select the Bluetooth and get that all sorted out. And the battery level, I mean, you know, if it's a 200 milliamp hour, what it says on the box, it says it's 280, but without cracking the thing apart and actually looking at the battery itself, who knows? But it could be better. I mean, Samsungs can lose about 10% after about 5 minutes of playing around with it. So to actually still say 100%, but you know, how accurate is that? The back is screwed down with little Phillips screws, and it fits quite well. Let's just bung it on my 17cm wrist. So excuse me whilst I do this, and you can have a look at it on the wrist itself. 17cm, I would say, is all right with this. 16cm is going to look a bit big, and on a anything below that, probably too big, really. I mean, just like the watch world, everyone likes about a 40 millimeter. What am I saying? Millimeters, centimeters? Should be millimeters. 40 millimeters is quite nice. This is 40, getting on 46. So that's what it looks like. I should imagine it is about 12 and a half on the height, but because of the profile, it slips underneath the cuff quite nicely. You can see it's got a bit of hover there, but you know, smartwatches are, if the bigger the screen, the bigger the battery capability, the longer it's going to last. The smaller the screen, the less definition, but it's more inobtrusive on your wrist. So, you know, with Samsung, they give you a 40mm option or 42mm option on the Classic, and up to 46mm. 46mm is a big watch. I mean, it's you know, if you've got a 15cm wrist, it's too big. It's going to look silly. So I could wear that under my cuff, no problem at all. Accept calls, listen to the music whilst I'm wandering around. Okay, the speaker quality's pretty lousy, but it's loud enough and it works. So it's got a I've got an affection for it. I think it's quite a nice bit of kit. Anyway, don't forget L9TH on the Bluetooth app, and then i9 on the connection in the wearfit 2 app. This video has been long, it's going to have been boring, but if you've bought one of these, you're going to need to work out what to do with it when you can't connect it and start getting really frustrated. Download the wearfit 2 app before you even have it sent to you, and then, you know, log in and you don't even have to log in, but log in and it gives you a personalization. Number 2, when you turn it on, don't forget to take the plastic screen protectors off ×2, one on the back. Number 3, connect the wearfit app to i9, and also in the Bluetooth menu, connect i9TH. That gives you two connections to this. And that's the measuring heart rate. It does take a bit of time, but on this other arm I have a Fitbit. That's currently showing 69. Let's see what this one's going to register. It says 91, so as I say, it might drop down a bit. 84. But again, if you only have this, you know where you are, don't you? I mean, you've got a level, and if you're higher or lower from that level, you know where you are. So, you know, it's getting roughly towards the Fitbit area, but as I say, 15-20% in this case plus. 78. And then of course there's blood pressure and all the rest of it. You know, I'm going to leave it like that. I don't think it's too bad for the money. I think it's pretty fun, and it's got IP67 waterproof. Actually, water resistant. Technically, it says you could go swimming with it. I wouldn't trust it. IP67 is really for ingress of dust and dirt, and you know, it says it can be fully submerged for 30 minutes. Well, you know, take your chances on that. Good luck with sending it back and getting a refund if you've submerged it in water. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, you can probably okay with it washing up, getting it splashed here and there, but you know what, with the speaker grill and everything on the back of it, without taking it apart and seeing what the seals are like, you know, I wouldn't worry. There we go. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.